Hey everybody, it's Jay from Bodywork with Jay again. I'm going to show you some more physical things that you can do with your body to release the area between your spine and the inside of your shoulder blades. So this area again, please check out my other video on this, which I will link below. That you can approach more from a breathing and grounding and creating boundaries for yourself way, and I want this video to complement that in adding a few other things that you can do physically to release that area as well. So one of my favorite things to do is to use a tennis ball. For this, you can also use a lacrosse ball, or you can ball up some socks so they're in a ball about this size. The socks are going to be less impact. Tennis ball is kind of in the middle. Lacrosse ball would be more intense. You know, if you got another random ball around the house for your dog or cat or something, you can always try that out too. There's some also balls that are plastic and hollow inside. Those are good too. There's also some, different kinds of like hard plastic balls that might work. Just see what works for you, what feels good for you. Ultimately, it should be something that you can breathe into. Like, we're going to be having the pressure of the ball into the back of our shoulder blades. So as long as it's something that you can breathe into, that feels good, like you're in the good version of like, ooh, that like hurts so good or feels so good. It doesn't even need to like be that intense level. It can just be a little presence. But we don't want to go, whatever you do, we don't want to go into the like, oh gosh, like the point is to not clench the body. The point is to allow the body to be softer and release. So I'll show you a couple things with this. You can do this standing up against a wall if that works for you. By placing the ball in that tense area in between the spine and the shoulder blade. So you can put that ball and then lean against a wall. But you can also do this just laying down on a floor or on a bed or a couch or something. I'm going to show you what that looks like laying down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ball in that spot. If it rolls around too much, you can put a towel down first and then the ball. So I'm going to put that ball in that spot. I'm just going to breathe. So even not doing anything else, just laying on this ball and breathing. I'm noticing a lot happening in that inside shoulder blade. And you can lay here as long as you want. You'll probably want to start off incrementally at first. So, just try it out for a few seconds, a minute, whatever you got. If you want a little bit more intensity or to move the ball a little bit without having to physically like move it with your hand, you can lift your arm overhead. And if there is a cat in the way, that can be great. So you can lift your arm overhead. You can lift your arm out towards the side. You can do a kind of circular motion with your arm above your head, down to your side. You might feel, depending on what's going on in your shoulder, you might feel a connection all the way down through your arm. Like for me, I'm noticing some tension that is contributing to a kind of a path, like a shooting path here of release that's happening. If it feels like that area has softened, you can always move the ball a little bit. Whoops. Well, now I lost the ball, so that also happens, which is why you might want the towel. But you can, after you've done that for a little while, just say in this area, you can see what it feels like to then put the ball in this area and then do that whole sequence again. And so you can work that all the way up into the top of the shoulder blade too. And you can, if you've had hands-on body work with me or someone else before, and if it has been a good sensation in your body to, like have a massage therapist like fist, in that area that gets really tight, just imagine that ball is that fist. So is that soft fist. So you can just put that ball there. You can move your arm up, out. Again, you can do this on the wall or on the floor. Another way to stretch the inside of your shoulder blades without a ball, we can get into rabbit pose, but I'm going to show you what to focus on to really get that inside shoulder blade loosened up. So go ahead, and if it's possible for your body, you're going to get on your knees, allow your feet and lower legs to be flush with your bed or the floor. And then you're going to settle in, so your hips are going to come down into your heels. And then you're already kind of, in this curved shape. We're going to allow our head to curve even more into our chest. We're going to allow our bodies to bend from the hips, our abs to contract, to crunch down. I'm going to allow my forehead to get close to this massage table here. And as I'm doing that, I'm just curling tighter into a little ball. And then I'm going to grab my heels with my thumbs on the outside and the other fingers gripping the back of my heel. And I'm going to start to pull my heels. So I'm going to pull my heels towards my butt. You're not going to actually see any movement, but you'll feel that pull in your body. So pull your heels towards your butt, and you're just engaging the backs of your shoulder blades here. So while I feel some pull, some tension through my arms and into my heels, where I'm really feeling this is in between my shoulder blades. So just focus on that area and breathe into that area. And by pulling my heels, I'm pulling apart almost the area between my spine and my inner shoulder blades. And then when I come up, this is very important, try to keep your core engaged. And you're just going to slowly allow your torso to start to come up, your head to start to come up, and return to a seated position. And then from there, if it feels good, you can do some rows to really increase that sensation that we just created in rabbit pose. So you don't even need, you can use bands for this or a rowing machine, but you can also just, do this imaginary. So we're gripping something and we're pulling it back. And we're keeping our shoulders down. We're keeping our core engaged. And we're keeping our elbows near our body. And we're squeezing the shoulder blades together. And so what we're doing, you might say, Jay, I thought this was about stretching. How is this stretching the inside of the shoulder blades? We're contracting it and releasing it. And by contracting it, we can get a bigger release. So it's like a different kind of stretch. Similar with the ball, putting the ball into that area, the ball is going into the muscle. So it's not like a pulling out stretch, it's like a pushing in stretch, which is what I'm doing as a massage therapist when I'm working like into a muscle. We're stretching the muscle like down basically. And similarly with like the contraction, we're contracting it up tighter so that it can have more spaciousness and more room to breathe. So really focus into like, ooh, I'm really squeezing that together. Now I can release it, let it go. And shaking it out and, do your regular routine of shoulder rolls or like overhead stretches, whatever. Take whatever movement feels good for you. So anyway, hope that can be helpful and a good addition to the breathing and grounding video that I did for shoulder blade release. So please check that out as well if you haven't already. And I hope that serves you well. All right, take care.